Three women, three kinds of rebellion. One walked away from a fortune and made 89 silver necklaces that sold out across America. One turned diamonds and picked up in church glass instead. Coco Chanel wore his ring on her deathbed. One was given a necklace that was made to choke her, and she wore it for life. They're not designers, they're not artisans, they're three women who said, "I decide." Today, we're talking about the three most rebellious women in jewelry history. Hey guys, it's your girl Pearl. Elsa Peretti, the runaway heiress of the jewelry world. You've heard of Tiffany, right? You've heard of the bird on a rock? But you haven't heard of her, the woman who designed 10% of Tiffany's annual sales. Her name is Elsa Peretti. She wasn't from a jewelry family. She was an oil heiress. At 21, she walked out. Not because her family didn't give her money, because there was too much of it. So much that she didn't want to touch it. In 1974, Elsa Peretti walked into Tiffany's office. She was 34. She brought a bunch of stuff. Silver stuff. Tiny diamonds. Things that looked cheap. The executive looked at it and said, "Too cheap." She said something that still gives me chills. She said, "It's easy to make jewelry with big stones, but what I care about is when you wear it. Is it comfortable? When you wear it, do people compliment you? When you wear it, did you buy it for yourself?" The executive went silent, and she got the contract. Picture this. An oil heiress walks into the most prestigious jewelry store in the world, carrying a bunch of silver chains, and tells the interviewer, "Your big diamonds are too easy. I make things you actually want to wear." What do you call that? That's called, "I have money at home, but I'm going to tell you what real value means." 7 months later, her first collection dropped. From New York to California, every Tiffany store had lines out the door. Not because it was cheap, because women put it on and thought, "This is mine." Someone said, a woman walked into Tiffany and bought herself a pair of earrings. She didn't wait for her boyfriend. She didn't wait for her husband. She didn't wait for anyone. She made something, and women across America said, "That's me." She designed a bone cuff, that bangle that looks like a bone. Where did the inspiration come from? Visiting cemeteries as a child. She said, "Forbidden things stay with you forever." You think it's rebellion? No, it's childhood trauma. She turned childhood trauma into jewelry and made millions. Is that turning nightmares into dreams or dreams into nightmares? I can't tell. Either way, she got paid. Elsa Peretti got into Tiffany and started making things they'd never sold before because no one had ever thought of making them that way. Ready? Let me show you a few. Number 1. A bean. No diamond, no gold, no gemstone. Just a metal bean. She put it on a chain and sold it for decades. Why? Because she said, the shape of a bean is natural. She didn't make things to show off. She made things to touch. Imagine this. Someone walks into Tiffany, spends a few $100, and buys a bean. The salesperson says, "It's an Elsa Peretti design." The buyer says, "Oh, I thought it was just a bean." And she wore it for 30 years. That's her philosophy. You don't wear it for others to see. You wear it for yourself to touch. Number 2. Diamonds by the yard. Before this, diamonds were always clustered together, one big stone, one setting, one finger. Peretti said, "Why can't we spread them out, a yard at a time?" She's spaced diamonds out on a thin chain, one here, one there, a stretch of silver in between. A working woman in a white shirt, wearing this chain, walks into her office. Diamonds flickering below her collarbone. But no one thinks she's showing off, because she isn't. She's just wearing diamonds on a Wednesday. Before this, diamonds had only 2 occasions: weddings and galas. Peretti said, "Why can't I wear diamonds on a Wednesday afternoon?" And she made something that made every diamond dealer wonder whether to cry or to laugh. She turned diamonds from something you wait to receive into something you buy for yourself. Number 3, open heart. A heart that doesn't close. You've seen heart jewelry, right? Covered in diamonds, packed with stones, completely filled. Peretti made an open heart the two halves don't meet. There's a gap. Like saying, you can come in if you want, but you don't have to.
When I saw this design, I thought, how badly did she not want people to think she's desperate for love? Others make hearts that say, I give you all my heart. Peretti made a heart that says, there's space in my heart. Enter if you like. Or don't. Only she could pull this off. Anyone else would have been told, you can't even draw a complete heart. Peretti did it, and everyone said, oh, hearts don't have to close, and they still look beautiful. Number 4, bottle pendant. A little glass bottle she found at a flea market and turned into a silver pendant. In 1969, when she was still working as a model, she found a broken vase at a flea market and turned it into a pendant. It became a hit at a Giorgio di Sant'Angelo fashion show. You know what's insane about this story? She wasn't even at Tiffany yet. She was still modeling. Her side gig was picking up junk at flea markets and turning it into jewelry. And that broken bottle became her first design that people actually remembered. So you see, she didn't start from, I want to make jewelry. She started from, this bottle looks good, I'll put it on my neck. So, what's Elsa Peretti's design philosophy? Simple. She didn't price by material. She didn't price by stone size. She priced by whether you want to touch it after you put it on. She said, I don't want to be a status symbol. I want to offer beauty at a fair price. Translation, she wasn't making jewelry. She was making things that you look at and want to touch and want to buy and never want to take off. A bean, diamonds by the yard, an open heart, a flea market bottle. What do all these have in common? They don't look like jewelry. But they all became jewelry. Because she said, jewelry doesn't have to look like jewelry. Jewelry has to look like you. If you've ever bought yourself a piece of jewelry just because you wanted it, no occasion, no excuse, no man attached, hit like. You're not alone. And if you haven't, hit like anyway. You will. It's only a matter of time. In her later years, Elsa Peretti retreated to an old town in Spain called Sant Martí. It used to be ruins. Bats flew around at night. She used the money she made to restore the village. She said, my home is a bit primitive. Like an old sweater. An old sweater. She bought her freedom with jewelry that cost a few $1,000s. And then she said her home was like an old sweater. You know what an old sweater means? It might pill. It might not be expensive. It might not look like much, but it's warm. She didn't need diamonds. She didn't need castles. She didn't need anyone. She just needed an old sweater.
Elsa Peretti, an oilionaire who walked away at 20, walked into Tiffany at 34, made $89 silver necklaces, and women across America lined up to buy them. Was she designing jewelry? She was saying can buy things for themselves. Diamonds by the yard, an open heart. She made things you look at and want to touch and want to buy, and never want to take off. I don't want to be a status symbol. I want to offer beauty at a fair price. She didn't need diamonds, she just needed an old sweater. The most beautiful version of jewelry isn't about how much it cost. It's about the person standing behind it and how deeply they refuse to follow the rules.
Elsa Peretti's story is done. But she's not the only rebel in the jewelry world. Next episode, 2 more women. One made jewelry from broken church glass and sold it for more than diamonds. One wore her mother-in-law's choking necklace for life. They're crazier than Peretti. Subscribe. You don't want to miss this. Have you ever bought a piece of jewelry for yourself? No occasion, no reason, just because you wanted it? What was it? I'm Pearl, and this is the Absolute V. Subscribe if you want to know what's actually in your jewelry box and your feed.